Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Current Status, and I'm Phoummala Schmitt, one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined tonight with my other co-host, Theresa.
Hi,
Want to introduce yourself?
everyone. Yeah, welcome back. It's been a few weeks. I'm glad to be here, and my name's Theresa Miller, and you can find me on Twitter at 24/7 IT Connect. And we have a wonderful guest with us this evening. If you could please introduce yourself.
My name is Leah Schoeb, and I currently work at Intel, and I am real happy to be here this evening with you guys.
What do you do with Intel?
I am an engineer that works in marketing, which is kind of unusual. But I deal with helping our customers build solutions with Intel technology. And part of that is, some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight with storage modernization in the data center, as the data center is transforming to support how we communicate today.
That sounds interesting, fun, and almost, what's the word? Fantasy-like.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's intriguing. Yeah, the way you describe it.
It's like a myth. Like, does that really actually happen, or does everybody wait till your hardware fails and then you're in a scramble to get things fixed? So does it really do people actually plan these upgrades and to modernize their data centers?
Well, when it comes to storage, you do have to plan because data loss, data corruption is a resume generating event for any IT professional.
For sure.
And they like to keep their jobs.
Not the best career move, right?
Right. So, but what they're finding is, the technologies that they've been using for the past, 50 years, these mechanical disk drives, even though they are very useful and they do have a place in the data center, to keep up with everything that we do today as far as how we communicate with each other, all the new technologies we use, the online shopping, everything that we do to generate more data and want our things now is causing them to need faster ways of storing data. And, up until about 2010, they only had one choice. And then someone got a great idea. He said, memory is really fast. We've used memory for a long time, and we can even make memory persistent. We've done it in mainframes, in small amounts over years, and the engineers thought, well, maybe we can actually use it in replace of our rotating media, and maybe we can use that to not only store our data but also make things faster. So in the past 5 years, we've seen a lot of flash. Everybody talks about flash drives and flash arrays, and so you've seen that big quantum leap in storage because they haven't had it. Moore's law has been very generous to CPUs, very generous to memory. Even networking has gotten a lot faster over the last 20 years, but storage has kind of eked along.
Storage is storage.
Yeah. People think it's boring, and it's actually the hardest part of your infrastructure is storage. But
I would agree.
But folks,
I would too.
It's what one of my peer managers calls it's a dial tone, and when the dial tone stops, that's when everybody pays attention.
Yep. People forget what storage actually really does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So so we've seen that quantum leap, and one thing I like about working at Intel is I'm getting to see the next quantum leap evolve. So being able to use even faster form of memory and be able to communicate with this memory instead of like a disk drive, which makes it 1,000 times faster. We're able to make it a lot more denser. So to be able to store a lot more data a lot faster, to keep up with society and how we live and breathe today, is really important. And so seeing that evolve over the next, couple of years is pretty exciting.
So that makes my
It,
shopping, my online shopping, a lot easier then. So I can
Yes.
actually so I can actually shop and do this podcast at the same time on my phone.
There you go. Now you're talking.
That's what we call high tech, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And that's for real, everybody. I was literally shopping right before we went on air. So, yeah.
Yes, you were.
need that storage.
Yeah.
So, so from a flash perspective, are you seeing that companies are more interested in doing all flash, or are they still really looking at the hybrid solutions?
Well, it really
Well, do they really
depends.
need all flash? I guess that's, to add on top of that.
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on the needs of the application, and the needs of the environment, and the ecosystem. So depending on, on your requirements, sometimes you do need an all flash array in order to keep up with demands and SLAs. Um, Sometimes it's necessary, but it's not always necessary, and there's a cost factor involved in there. That's why we have those hybrid solutions, is because depending on the application, you may not need the fastest storage all the time, for your whole data set. Take, for example, with databases. Your active data set at any given time is less than 7% of your data set on average. So, that's what really needs to be on flash. The rest of it can be destaged or auto-tiered, in between flash and hard drives. Um, but as the world changes, as we do business differently, folks are finding that they need for their databases to even process faster. So in some cases, you'll find that they will go to all flash arrays. And so folks are thinking, hey, well, if that's the case, then, why are folks at Intel and Micron and, at these other companies that are building the next generation, beyond flash, why are you even bothering? Why do we need anything faster? And folks don't see what's coming. Like, a great example is, when you look at, in the medical profession, you look at genomics, for example.
Right.
They use a lot of genetic testing now to be able to um, customize treatments for cancer and other diseases. Well, sometimes that takes weeks, and months. And if you have only a certain period of time, because you've got cancer, you may miss the window. Wouldn't it be
Hmm.
nice if they did the genetic testing while you sat right there in the doctor's office and you could go home with your treatment that day? You could start at ground zero with your treatment. But it takes that next generation of technology to be able to process that type of information that fast. On Wall Street, they're always trying to shave off that next microsecond to be able to get to that next trade before their competitors. They're going to want that. There's so many different applications that can be used with this next generation um, of solid state that a lot of folks don't think about.
One of the things that you mentioned was healthcare, and I did a long run in healthcare IT, and the business intelligence and analytics was becoming more and more relevant in that space, and that reminded me of the I don't know if I'll say the word right, genomics.
Yeah.
I'm not a genealogist, is that what it is?
I just think
I'm
it's
just
like a
gonna start
gnome. You know?
I'm gonna just start making stuff up here.
There you go.
But
Why not?
Every time you were saying that, I thought like this little gnome guy. I'm sorry. This little gnome guy just kind of sitting there,
Oh,
Oh, that's
holding
funny.
I'm gonna have to
his
get a
thumb
gnome
drives.
now
Yeah.
for the show. He can sit
He's
by
holding
me during the
his
show.
USB thumb drives. Like, look, I've got data.
Oh, no, but okay, so in all seriousness, I can't help but think anything tied to any form of business intelligence where you're doing deep dive on data, where you really, really want that performance. But then I'd also have to ask, well, there's got to be a point where the price is going to break enough that why wouldn't you just do all flash?
Right. And today, a lot of those prices have come down to the point where, um, you know, it's the total cost of ownership is going to cost you about the same. So when you're looking at disk drives, when the average finance department gets a PO to purchase more storage, they're used to bargaining price on dollars per gigabyte, because on hard drives dollars per gigabyte is the best way to look at things. When you're looking at a new technology like flash or any type of solid state technology, your price is more around your price performance. So when you look at that, um, then then you're looking at a more level playing field. And so therefore, between that and the fact that Flash has higher reliability and durability, so there's a lot of companies that now their warranties are longer. Your mean time to failure on a disk drive is about 3 years. When you're looking at today's flash drive, you're talking about 5, 7, 10-year guarantees. Um, so, when you factor in the performance and how long you're going to keep it, and all those factors, when you put it in, it's actually very economical to just go to flash. Also, when you look at the green aspects and the green efficiency aspects and the footprint that it takes up in the data center, you're gonna be able to save on cooling and space, and there's so many different factors that go into that.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Right now, Flash it's very comparable to spinning drives. I mean, just from my standpoint, I have a couple different projects, and we've had to look at storage, and when you're comparing the numbers, you're like, well, crap, I might as well just buy the all flash array because it's almost the same price, and I know I'm going to get performance. And if I don't, I'm going to go back to that vendor and go, what's wrong with your flash?
Right, yeah.
Right,
As you
What's
should.
wrong? You
for
sold me a
sure,
defective product.
for
I mean,
sure.
yeah, for Exchange, because right now everybody knows Exchange doesn't need flash. With all the reduction in I/O, I mean, you can run on SATA drives if you want, but
Right.
but with the cost, you might as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah, it's overkill, but
it is.
if you're getting it for Exchange, then maybe you can throw some other applications like Skype for Business,
Right.
or even throw some SQL on there if you want to, and have a little party on there.
And
Um,
that's one thing nice about Flash, is that it handles mixed workloads really well.
it
So
does,
yeah,
and I think you do. I hate to say this, but you almost get the best bang for your buck because you can do so much for it. But at the same time, it is overkill to put domain controllers on there.
yeah, yes it is.
It's overkill today, but with what Leah said, with the life, the longevity of the product being 5 to 10 years, easily 5 to 10 years from now, we'll probably be saying, "Wow, we can't believe that we ever thought that this would be overkill."
Yeah,
So if you can really keep it around that long, you're gonna see the business value, and it's gonna more than pay for itself, and your applications are gonna catch up with that performance that you get out of it.
Yeah.
There will be a benefit.
Another thing that's kind of interesting, especially with this next generation of solid state technology coming out, is finding ways to um, uh, get the storage closer to compute, which makes things a lot faster. With NVMe coming out, one thing that you'll see is all of the ISVs, like Microsoft and VMware and Red Hat and others, they as they are changing their operating systems and their hypervisors and their applications to communicate directly with the storage and not go through the normal IO SCSI stack that you find in an operating system or in a hypervisor, and be able to go straight through and communicate to the storage, that cuts out, almost 2/3 of your latency and overall response time for a transaction, which is really nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine what that would be like. That just it seems
Yeah, it's kind of
almost
mind blowing.
unbelievable. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you think about where we used to be, like I think back like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, go back like 20 years, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
traditional plain disc, what were the RPMs?
Oh God.
Less than 10, right? I mean,
Oh yeah. I mean, you had,
Yeah, but we weren't using the
5.4,
we
and if
weren't
you're even
using
older.
we weren't using data like we are today though back then.
no.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they're
No, we were
just
still learning
yeah,
how we could use data.
I mean back then it was like, oh, this computer stuff, you know. Um, I think just the way technology has changed and the way society has changed.
Mhm.
Now we're so dependent on technology and these darn things and this whole cloud. I mean everything. Just the way I think society has changed along with technology. The use of
Right.
data is just it's just so different now. It's
Yeah.
almost scary.
Yeah, and with those new uses of data, there's new uses of how we protect that data.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Right.
so like you keep holding up your phone, like your phone, for instance, you've got a lot of data on here. And I think mine has like 128 gigs on here.
This is my
And
life.
yeah,
Right. Yeah,
okay.
your
Now,
phone
Remember
is.
now
remember
if
about what 3 weeks
it
ago, Teresa? My phone like it just I couldn't I was locked out. I had to restore my phone. I was
Yeah.
down for like
Yeah.
6 hours and
I
I
know. I'm like,
literally
where is she? I'm
I
not,
I was having a
where'd she
panic
go?
attack. I'm like, oh my God, my phone. Yeah, I felt naked. Like
yeah,
I felt naked. I felt like, oh my God, like my phone is not working.
I know.
People couldn't find me. It was
I know. I'm
awful. Like,
like,
oh
are
yeah.
you okay?
and then when I finally got
Yeah.
online, people
It's
are
it's
like,
just
my
my phone.
yeah, my phone was going off like crazy. But we're so dependent on it, and
Yeah.
We are.
it's amazing.
And
Yeah.
just think about the fact that if you drop this in the water, you drop it in the toilet, it gets destroyed. You know
That happened to me.
what? So what happens is all your data is in here too. So all your
Mhm.
pictures, all your contacts, everything is
Mm-hmm.
in here.
Yeah.
And if it's not backed up to iCloud or some other way of automatically backing up your data, just think that's all gone now.
Mhm.
When your phone's gone, everything's gone.
Yeah.
So the way we make sure that our data is secure and backed up also changes too. Because once you get a new phone or your phone finally becomes unlocked, you can always get that data back on your phone and keep going.
Right. Well, and the data so that to, you know, go back to storage and our data centers, we need to treat our data in the data center the same way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But you know what? A lot of times users, the business forgets about that.
They
It,
do.
they, sometimes they I think they think that it just goes into the servers somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
those servers,
Yeah.
and you just have to go, okay, well, there's a price to those servers. And you brought up, how we protect our data. Well, how we store our data and how long do we keep our data? Nobody wants. I know in healthcare. I'm in healthcare.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to delete anything. I mean,
Oh no,
Yeah.
you can't.
well, no, you can. You can.
Actually, you really can.
You should.
Hmm.
Anthem. Can I say Anthem any louder? Anthem. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that data breach. A lot of that data, um, a lot of that data that was breached are customers from years and years ago.
Hmm.
If there was a data retention policy, um, I'm gonna say a large handful of those customers that were affected would not have been affected the way they were.
Yeah.
And it's because us in healthcare, we are afraid to delete data. I love
Hmm.
delete. I love shift delete. I think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread because the more you have, the more exposure you have.
Hmm.
And people need to think about that as well. Okay, I'm going to save this data somewhere in those servers
Hmm.
in that mysterious land, but how long do I keep that?
Yeah.
Do I keep it forever? The
Yeah.
lawyers would tell you, some lawyers say keep it forever. Some say, oh no, keep it. We want as minimal.
Keep as little as
Yeah. Well, that's
possible.
Yeah.
why
I've
companies
seen
like Iron,
both.
yeah, that's why companies like Iron Mountain are in business, you know.
Yeah, people are afraid of delete now that you have it. Go back to my phone. You know, I literally was having a panic attack. Like I
Yeah.
did not. I thought, well, I lost actually some pictures. I lost a lot of pictures because I didn't have it backed up properly,
Yep. I bet.
which is a good thing at the same because I could be a hoarder as well. But it makes you think about how do I protect it? How do I protect my data? How long should I keep my data, even if it's just a
Right.
phone. But then
And then
most
how
of the important stuff is on this phone, though.
and then how data is deleted or erased. Sometimes, you think you've deleted the data,
And it's
but
not
it's
on.
not gone, and that's why you have like I remember I went to college with a guy, and he made money on the side recovering data off of drives that people thought they deleted everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
he
so
did
let
all
me
this
ask
forensics.
let me ask then what may be kind of a stupid question, but I don't know the answer. So with Flash, that's essentially more of a memory-based
Hmm.
storage. What happens to that data if I've erased it? Is it recoverable? Or is it the whole theory of like regular drives where you kind of need to like format them 20 times so that that nobody can get at them?
Well, what's interesting about how um, data is stored on Flash, and this is something that probably is a big conversation, but the bottom line is that um, it gets randomly stored and randomly moved around. So and like I said, I don't want to eat up all your time with all the technical details behind it because it'll take too long. But the bottom line is that it's harder to track that down, um, only because of the way um, the data is stored. Unless you have the metadata in how that data was stored randomly, it won't make any sense. So trying to recover it, it won't. It's not as bad as if you had it on a hard drive.
So
So would you say
so
it's more
when you're
secure?
yeah, that's where I was gonna go. Like when you're destroying hard drives, I mean, like you really gotta, go out of your way. You gotta pay somebody to like get rid of that data or come up with your own creative solution.
Or get a big old magnet, yeah,
A magnet,
crack it
a
open,
gun.
yeah,
Lots and lots of magnets.
yeah. Magnets are our
No,
friends.
so does that make it more secure? Back to
Yeah.
Pumela's question.
Well, the thing is that because being able to read the data, the magic is in the metadata. There's the theory that if you destroy the metadata, you've basically destroyed the data, which is not technically true, but to be able to piece things back together to make them understandable, so you could actually read the data back, would be extremely difficult
Okay.
if you didn't have the metadata.
Okay. So it's possible, but it would take a lot
Yeah,
because you. Okay. Cool.
you have to have absolutely nothing else to do for the rest of your life.
Well, there are some people out there.
This
I'm
is true.
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah. Maybe
Gary,
we've
but
just challenged somebody.
there, we some
There you
of those
go.
Uber geeks, I'm sure would probably want to try to attempt it. Just saying.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun.
It's like, well, I'm really bored tonight. Saturday night. Yeah.
Let's
No,
try
thank
this.
you. Yeah. No, thank you. Definitely no, thank you. Well, we are, I guess, at the part of our show where we normally talk about what's going on, the current events. And I'm just thinking, what's been happening lately? I've been totally out of the loop, even on the Twitters. I know some of my fans have asked where I've gone. I've been in certificate world and actually certificate hell. Um, so I've been trying to keep up with what's been going on. But I think, was there a new iPhone released this week? I could be wrong. I could have.
There was definitely a version. Was there?
Okay.
There. Yeah, actually, you're right. There was a
It was
phone too.
smaller.
Yeah, it was like a. I don't know. It wasn't that
Well,
exciting. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, it was so exciting. I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
So I had read a small blurb. It's a smaller iPhone. So what happened to bigger was better, and now they've gone smaller.
So now they got three sizes now?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So now
I
so now
thought
you can get small, medium, large,
what
and I
there
guess
was
it's a
also
cheaper
a new
price point.
iPad too, right? I thought there was a new iPad that was
Yeah.
smaller again.
Yes. Nine point
Everything's
seven.
smaller.
Nine point
Yeah.
seven inches, I think. So it's
Yeah.
almost like we're going smaller now. What
Yeah.
I mean, there was that trend of oh, I need a big, big, big. So are we going smaller again with our devices?
I don't know. Because like I just got the new iPad Pro, and it's about the same size as my MacBook Pro.
Which has
Sure.
great quality video, I will
Thank
tell you.
you.
It's
Yeah.
Thank you.
awesome. You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, my iPhone 6 I think it's actually too big for my hand. I still
Yeah.
like the 5S. The 5S was perfect for my
Oh,
small
that was a
hand.
perfect size. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
could
I've
Yeah.
got
look at
this.
text and drive at the same time.
Yeah.
I didn't say that out loud.
I still have my 5S. Texting and driving's not legal in my state.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not legal in mine either.
Really?
Yeah, it's legal.
Yeah.
It's illegal in my. I have a
I
5S
add
for work.
I added insult to injury. I not only got the the larger six,
The 6
um,
Plus.
yeah, the 6 Plus, but then I put a Mophie case on it because I wanted
Oh,
Oh my
the
gosh.
backup. Yeah, the battery
Yeah.
backup.
so you
Yeah.
And
supersized it.
I went from a 5S to that, so that was definitely a change for me.
See, but I
Yeah.
think the screen size is nice for
Oh
many
I
yeah.
like the screen
things.
size.
Oh
Yeah.
But
yeah. The
the
real
but
estate.
but the way it is a little big. Like it doesn't fit in your pocket.
Yeah, like my 5S for work, I love it because it's just small and it's just my hands just wrap around it nice.
Hmm.
I could use my fingertips to text, and I can't do that now. I
Yeah.
gotta do voice to
Yeah, I
text.
gotta, to text it, it's one of those things where you learn how to prop it up in your fingers a different way, and I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Or like
Yeah.
you've got one kid in the hand,
Yeah,
this you got your phone and you're trying to like text your husband. Are you making dinner and you've got holding on to this other kid? Yeah, it can be challenging. And
Mm.
wasn't there a new iOS release? I think there was new iOS
Yeah.
released.
There was at 993.
Yeah, 9.3, and I
Yeah.
only knew about because I got this alert on my phone. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, I updated, but I don't know what I got.
I didn't
I
update
didn't
yet.
really pay attention.
I
I'm holding it
usually
out.
I usually
Eh,
update like a month later
do
so that they
you?
can get all the kinks out. There's always some
Oh
kink
yeah,
that goes on, and it's like, oh, I'll update in a
Eh,
month.
yeah.
I don't.
I might
On
do
the
it when I
on
go
the
home.
on the Apple stuff. I mean, I know they had a bad run there for a little while, but I just do it.
I was gonna do
Last
it, but
time
with
I
him
got new
going away.
emojis, right? New
Oh,
emojis last
nice.
time.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
poop
wow.
one.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new poop one. I was really excited about that. I think I was texting you. I was like, look, I see poop. It's great. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh look,
Oh,
they got a
that's
poop
funny.
one.
They had
The things
some
we get
new
excited
finger
over.
gestures too, I think, in that one.
Yeah, but I think the poop ones just look so much nicer. That's awful.
Oh,
You know
that's
it's
too
Eh,
funny.
you know it's bad if you're excited about a poop emoji.
Yeah.
Emoji poop.
Yeah,
We
but
actually saw they were selling a stuffed poop emoji at one of the stores we were at. My kids wanted
Oh,
it. Like,
oh,
that's
that's
something my
funny.
kids would want too.
no,
Yeah,
not
no,
today.
thank you guys. Let's just keep moving on.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody buy anybody this week? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
didn't
anybody
hear
bought
much
anything.
either. I've probably been more out of the loop as well.
We've been, again, this whole, I think it's that time of year, everyone's ramping up with different
Just been
projects.
busy. Yeah. Yep. Really, really busy.
Well, thank you, Leah,
Well,
for
thank you.
joining us. This was a great conversation. We enjoyed having you on the show, and we should have you back again.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Thank
it.
you so much for joining us this evening.
We should have
No
a
That was
problem.
really interesting.
V Ladies podcast event.
Let's do it.
Ooh, let's do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
that could
definitely.
Yeah, because
I'm
we
in.
we were we were brainstorming on how we could get together. Let's do it virtually.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great.
Let's
I'd
do
love
it.
that.
we can talk about some serious storage. Get Miss Gina on the show, and we can start talking about.
Storage and cloud.
Oh
Yes,
gosh, that
they go
darn
hand in
thing.
hand now.
They do. I'm telling you, they do.
Yep.
They go together. And that's a whole other
Yep.
conversation when we bring
Yes,
up
it
the word
is.
Yep.
cloud. Mhm.
But
Okay,
yep.
okay, everybody. Well, I guess our time is up for this evening, and we want to give thanks to our audience and Leah for joining us.
Yep.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Have a great evening.
Bye bye.
Bye.